I'm Thomas with Believe in the Run.
And this is Brandon with Believe in the Run.
And you're watching Between Two Shoes.
I mumbled my name so bad. So we are talking about the Novablast 3 and the On Cloudmonster. Two shoes that are pretty similar, but also a little different.
How would you say these are similar?
Well, they're both daily trainers.
Yeah.
They're two shoes that you can pick up the pace in, and they have high stack, and they're well cushioned.
The funny thing is, I feel like the Monster is on super cush shoe. Like this is supposed to compete with shoes that might have more cushioning than the Novablast.
Well, it's funny you say that because from Novablast 2 to Novablast 3, the stack did get significantly higher, so I would consider this a pretty well-cushioned shoe now. Asics have, okay, so there is the Glide Ride, which is the max cushion, but I would say that the Novablast now competes in that same max cushion world.
So let's get back to these shoes. The Monster, we all enjoyed running in this. This is a fun shoe to get you daily miles in, rolls through your stride, just has that nice cushion. As a matter of fact, it was the first On that we all unanimously were kind of like, hey, I kind of dig that shoe.
Okay, let's just kind of like compare the uppers real quick and then we'll get into the midsole. So the uppers, the On is a little bit baggier and I think a little bit wider than the Asics upper. The Asics upper is just a little bit more sculpted, a little bit better sculpted in my opinion. It's also a little bit of a longer shoe than the On. But yeah, the On definitely is a little bit wider, so if you have a wider foot, that's probably the shoe I would go with.
Okay, so when you say longer, do you mean it's not your size, it's too long, or what do you mean by longer?
No, I think it fits well. I think just around the toe, you know, I just feel like I've got a little bit more room than usual, but around the midfoot, it locks down really, really well, especially around the heel collar too. Whereas on the Cloudmonster, around the midfoot, you really just don't get that same lock. And that might also be due to the lacing system on the Cloudmonster, just not being as strong as the Novablast 3.
I actually think it's the structure of the upper. There's not a lot of things kind of giving the upper structure on the Monster.
All right, well, we're talking about this midsole, and Asics have now put in, they've moved from the Novablast 2, which just had Flight Foam Blast, and now they're putting Flight Foam Blast Plus into the Novablast 3. On is now using their Cloud Tech, but what they've done is they've just sort of beefed it up a little bit more and put even more Cloud Tech than usual and used Helion foam.
It's their it's their Helion foam that they've been using. I don't know that they've actually beefed up the Cloud Tech. It just, I think there's just more.
There's more of it, which gives it definitely a more cushion ride than usual. Both of these shoes you can take out on long runs. Both these shoes you can pick up the pace in. But I think at the end of the day, it depends on whether you want like a smoother ride or a more rigid ride, and that's where these two shoes separate a little bit. So with the Novablast 3, you're gonna get a little bit of a more controlled and like more smooth ride, whereas in the Cloudmonster, you're gonna get a little bit of that firmer ride still, but
and a segmented feel. It kind of has that, like you can almost see on the bottom with the pods, you get that rippling effect, like it's like
exactly
when you go through your stride.
Yeah, the On Cloudmonster is not going to have as much flexibility, in my opinion, than the Novablast 3, so that's also something to look out for. Oh, that's still not bad, but
not bad.
When I'm running, I still feel that kind of rigidity.
You feel that speed board.
That's
on the
exactly,
bottom.
Yeah, that speed board really doesn't make it easy.
All right, so you've spent some time running in both these shoes. I know you're a big fan of the Monster. I know you've been enjoying the Novablast. Let's get to where people really want to know, which shoe would you choose?
Oh man, I mean, the Novablast 3 is the exciting shoe for me this year, and I have to give it to the Novablast 3. I have to give it to Asics. They've been doing a great job so far. So this one definitely wins in my book. Not to say that the On Cloudmonster is a bad shoe. It's a great shoe. It's another really good choice if you love On. But for me right now, if I'm gonna grab one shoe to put miles in, it's got to be the Novablast.
Yeah, and regardless, people know we do a lot of stuff with Asics. Is that tainted your view of this shoe at all in any way?
I don't think so, because this shoe, like, I've run in other shoes like the Puma Velocity, I've run in the Cloudmonster, I've run in the Nike Vomero this year. I've run in a lot of really, really well done shoes, a lot of great daily trainers, but this one just seems to hit the mark a little bit. Just that nextra, that next step. That nextra step that you're looking for in your running arsenal.
And I'm gonna say what I'm really excited about is once we have the Pegasus 39 now.
Yeah.
Brandon's only been running in the Novablast 3, not the rest of the team. But what we're really excited about is that competition. I want to know
That.
because I'm really loving the Peg 39, and I want to see how it compares and comes up against the Novablast.
It's
3.
like the world champs, like brawling it out, just going head to head with one another. But
I mean, this
right
definitely
now,
looks like it has more stacked. So
Yep.
right now, between the Monster, Novablast 3, you're giving this one the bell.
Yep. This one gets the green light.
All right, and that's it. Ooh.